casting duo
I know.
facing off. Very fun. What's up, Shark Nice in chat? How you doing?
It's hard to, I mean, regardless of nationality, it's hard to pick which one of these players you want to cheer for, as they're both very exciting. In the top right, it is Future, who is also on Team Matcherino, it appears.
Look at that. 2 Matcherino players today. In the bottom left, it is Scarlett. She is currently playing for Shopify Rebellion.
We're going to have to talk to Matcherino to get us some of those higher coupon codes if we're inviting all their players to our cups.
Hey, glad to hear you're doing good there, Shark Nice. Aki lets us know that Henaim and Infrared have clicked the claim code button, giving these players 25 cents each, increasing their prize pool most expertly. Is this a Command Center first play from Future?
Bet it is.
You bet your bottom dollar.
I bet my bottom dollar. Future rocking the yellow.
I like it.
I do too.
I mean, so here's the thing about Hatch first, about Command Center first against Zerg. You can get away with it. Easy peasy. No Zerg is ever going to drone scout you and find it in time to punish it. But if you do it every time, then you're the guy who goes Command Center first every ZvZ, and then they start punishing you.
Yeah.
So it's this weird spot where you do it, you know, infrequently enough, you'll get away with it every time you do it, which is really fun.
And 2 racks follow-up.
But no gas. Okay, there we go. Oh, double gas. Okay, so we went from no gas to double gas real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, Reapers?
It's just a great way to boom up as the Terran.
Yeah, I mean, economy's gonna go great here. I don't know. I just don't think I've seen a Future game in a while, so I'm curious to see what his playstyle is like now, if he's absorbed any interesting quirks from other players, or if he's kind of got his own thing going.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of him, or I haven't seen, I think, any of his games in quite a while. Like, I see him on ladder every now and then, I check on his profile and stuff, and then I see him in all the qualifier brackets and stuff like that, and he came close to qualifying, I want to say, for the Masters Coliseum.
Okay.
Like, so he's been taking maps off some good players, and I think even taking down a few of them. And so that's like, if this was, say, Future in the past or partly active Future, I'd say, oh, Scarlett's gonna slaughter him. But
yeah,
I really have no idea how this matchup's gonna turn out.
4 Lings just gonna cancel on a supply depot. They're gonna try it again.
They are, and
oh, yep.
not quite. Future's afraid to step out because he's like, how many Lings are there?
There's only 4. But you don't know that.
You never know.
Ooh, safety bunker too. Future's really worried about more Lings showing up, and this is all Scarlett has.
I mean, I love it. I don't care.
It's good mind game.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Gets an SCV, delays this supply depot even further. Okay, so Future's behind.
Yeah, Scarlett up 1-0 in the mind games so far.
Certainly. Hey, Alpha X, Dark. Dark took down Estrella in our first series today. It was great, though. Estrella had some really nice games in there. 1 through 3 were fantastic.
Okay, and it's the 2-1-1 follow-up, which is part of the reason why this Command Center first build is so nice. Like, you get up your natural, you skip the Reaper, so you get up your tech super quickly, and you've got basically a 2-1-1 with a supercharged economy. It's a wonderful build. Now,
yeah,
Future has to throw down another depot, make sure that wall's solid, and it is. This will allow him to load up into his medivacs without any worry.
Yeah, and I mean, he's spending a supply, too. It's not like he's just throwing up supply depots and, like, way oversupply here. Marines are being produced consistently. Medivacs out there, too. Baneling Nest got thrown down by Scarlett here, so... yeah, I mean, if a bunch of Marines and Medivacs show up and you don't have any Banelings, you're probably just going to die. So yeah. Scarlett knows the score here.
Well, the format is you either need Banelings or you need 32 Lings.
Yeah. Or maybe some roaches, maybe.
And I don't know if Scarlett, like, she's firing up units now. There we go. 12 Lings is on the way, but You got to engage this right as the Zerg. Like, if you attack with half your lings, like, you will just die. And so these 20 extra lings are on the way by that. There we go. 28. Already 4 out. 32.
Firing
it's
up a
always
couple
the number.
banelings here would be good. No banelings? Okay. Queenslings. Here we go. Trying to get us around. Queen's getting shots off on those medevacs are big. Nice transfuse on that queen.
Scarlett did exactly what she needs to.
Beautiful. Thank you, P-Tux, for the 25 cents to the prize pool. Scarlett trying to engage a little bit off creep, which harder to do for sure. Yeah, the more tumors down to, the better it is. Combat shield finishing up very, very closely here. Future clearing out some creep down there to the south. Oh, there we go. Wanted that one.
Oh, it doesn't get those 2 extra tumors. That's a pain.
Yeah, it has to scan again, which
that's very expensive.
Yeah, that's a mule. We all know. Combat shield is kicked in. Now they're even harder for these lings to kill.
Yeah, this is such a classic build from Future that he's going for. We'll see if Scarlett is up to stuff when it comes to defending, as this is very classic. The 2 Marine drop, or the 2 Medivac drop to start, then the 2 tank follow-up, and Future all of a sudden is just charging right on in there. These Marines stim and move in, trying to catch Scarlett off guard, and he does. Those lings were not in the fight from the start. He's just going for the throat right now. The tanks get targeted down. Well, one of them does anyway. These Medivacs are keeping a lot of these Marines alive. Future trades out very boldly, but is pushed back in the end.
Wow. I was close for a minute. Oh, free queen on the comeback, too. That's not good.
Okay, what sort of follow-up does Future have? He's got more tanks and Marines crossing the map. Scarlett is making roaches behind this?
Yeah, she's been making roaches here for a minute. Speed banelings are done too here. It's kind of darkish.
Okay, the 1 tank is going to set up. Future's moving in with the Stim Marines. He's got the +1. There's the Crocebaldo, and that is a dead tank. And Scarlett on 4, 5 bases. Looking pretty good here.
Yeah, I mean, that speed baneling is so important here. Roaches can trade pretty well with the support of those banes especially. Ravagers getting added into the mix, and Liberators coming down from Future on the follow-up. Scarlett counterattacking with Lings into the natural base, getting hard node, and there is no 3rd base for Future, which is interesting information to have.
Yeah, the fact that, like, Future took that fight earlier, it's like, wow, that was close to killing the Zerg. That was potentially really good, but it really neutered him as far as, like, further aggression goes, because he only has 1 tank now.
Yeah, I mean, 1 tank is good. 1 tank can blast a bunch of lings, but just 2 tanks is better, as always.
Okay, the lings are out of position. Future's going to try and get this base. He's going to get it. Great move there. Marines can retreat. Taking out those banelings with the siege tank support. Great positioning there. Able to save those Marines. That's a big deal. The rest of these units are moving in towards the 4th base location. Scarlett's down to 4 bases now, so it's not like she's in a terrible economic spot.
Yeah, she's been able to hold on here through some really nice aggression from the Terran player, and that usually translates into a pretty solid mid-game. Future's throwing up an armory. I don't know if that's going to be for Widowmine Cloak, or he just needs that for the further upgrades for his Marines. And I guess he needs to start adding on Marauders, considering the Banelings are a massive threat here.
Siege tank getting some shots off, but it is just the 1 tank, so it's going to go down as Future's pushed away. He should be able to save these Marines, however. The other tank's going to go down too. That's a bit unfortunate. He's microing as well as he can, but kind of diminishing returns there.
Liberator escapes there. So frustrating. 22 drones getting thrown up by Scarlett here. Holy smokes.
Wow. Okay, Future's starting to add Marauders into his composition. However, it's just 1 for now. Soon to be a 2nd. That will help him deal with the Banelings and the Roaches easier. He's got 2 tanks out, 1 Liberator. That Liberator is not really countable, though.
No. Advanced ballistics would be nice for her, though. Future's done a pretty good job keeping the creep spread back. It's connecting all the bases, but Scarlett loves getting that creep spread out everywhere, and Future's just not allowed it today.
Yeah, this base is under pressure. However, Scarlett is doing the correct thing, which is taking basically the base opposite of the one being attacked. So even though it perishes... Oh, Banelings get connections. Fortunately, those Marines do stay alive. So unfortunately, though it perishes, there's another base getting up, and Scarlett's actually getting the jump on Future. He was just focusing on his economy for a second, it looks like, as you usually do after an attack, but big move by Scarlett, really bringing it to Future.
Oh man, she has 93 drones and 107 army supply, and this is just going to be really problematic for Future. He's going to get flooded here. He's trying to make the best of it with these mobile Marines and medevacs, but Scarlett starts launching attacks into that 3rd base or into Future's attempts at a 4th base, and I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do about it.
Yeah, I mean, usually you keep the pressure off of you by being aggressive towards the Zerg, but that has been stopped. These rocks are being taken out. Scarlett is up to 37 Banelings. This 3rd base will be in a lot of trouble. There's a couple of tanks, a Widow Mine and a bunker, but I don't know if it's enough to defend both these locations.
Like I said, bit attack into this 4th base, and yeah, that tank's not going to be able to hold it. The 4th base is okay. All right. Oh boy, 18 SCVs go down. Corrosive Bile's connecting a little bit there. She wanted that factory that's making Widow Mines, and for good reason, but firing up 62 Lings behind it. Future is down 91 to 50 workers. I know mules are good, but they're not that good.
Okay, Hive getting up for Scarlett. A drop for Future, moving down towards the bottom right. Gonna get some damage done, pick off some Overlords, pick off some drones. Probably not get the hatchery, although the Marines are trading out pretty darn well against the Lings, but there we go. They've got to retreat. While this is going on, Scarlett's attacking in towards the 3rd once again. That base with all the mules dropped again is getting shut down.
Immediately lands it. Tries to get some more income there. Ooh, Corrosive Bile gets some damage on some moving units, and crazy. Scarlett throwing up an Ultralisk Cavern, getting some Vipers as well. This game is just well in hand for her right now.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit rough here for Future, as he's getting some good pickoffs. He's not getting no damage done to the Zerg, but it's all damage that Scarlett can absorb. Like, even if Future manages to get this base, Scarlett's just going to have another, probably start another.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hatch down pretty easy. But the economy of Scarlett is through the roof right now.
Scarlett just going to chase Future all the way home before he unloads now?
She can. Man, first Ultralisk in production. Chitinous Plating on the way. Adrenal coming in here too. +2 melee attack coming up. And expanding up the top left while replacing the base that she left there on the left side. I mean, this is... That Planetary is trying to fight. They are not Adrenal Lings, but the Banelings on support are going to be enough.
Yeah, cool move by Future, unloading Marines onto those Banelings right in the middle of a chaotic fight, but it's still not enough. He loses his 4th base. He does not have another base to replace it, so he's got to do the Terran, the sad Terran move, which is float your main over to your 4th. And it is a sad move.
It is.
Future splitting his bio into 2 sections here. He's definitely trying as hard as he can. He's clearing back some of that creep once more, like he's been doing all game. But there's the Vipers, there's the Ultras on the ground, or I guess Ultra at this minute. But Parasitic Bomb on those Medivacs. No.
No! It's not enough to kill them, but man, that's way too much damage taken.
Future.
4th base of Future going to die. This counterattack of Future on the left side is pretty good. I mean, that's a dead hatch if he wants it. And an attack down the right side at the bottom here, too. Future doing what Terran is best at and being in multiple places at once and sniping down hatches.
Yeah, you got to give it to him. He's really fighting as hard as he can, but the problem is it's like the Zerg can still absorb this damage. Scarlett's on 88 drones. She's got more hatcheries up still. Like, the army supply is actually decent for Future, so now's his moment. But, like, there's at least one Ultra on the map he's still got to deal with. If he can get this base, this would be real promising, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
You're a little bit too much Zerg for that to be the case, especially these Lings with that Adrenal upgrade, and that was a pretty terrible pickup, too.
Yeah, I mean, 26 drones did just die, but Scarlett's at 77 still. There's a Widow Mine there, gets the connection. Nothing amazing, though. More mines are moving forward.
He's like, did I bring Overseers?
Yeah, I mean, those were some great moves by Future, but look, Scarlett's already replacing that hatchery, got the base in the top left still. I'm not sure what Future can do here.
As that fourth base is rolling, that's like as good as he can get. But
Yeah,
for how long is the question.
Yeah, the Widow Mines are pretty much the best defensive tool the Terran has in this position. But in comes the Zerg. I mean, Future could have a pretty good angle here. He's really up on army supply compared to Scarlett due to his low worker count. Marauder's going to try and bait these units into some Widow Mines, and they do. Decent connections. Here comes the rest of the Terran force. This has pretty much got to be the fight for Future.
Yep. Ultralisk in there getting target fired by those Marauders. It's 15 more SCVs down, but nothing can kill that orbital by choice here from Scarlett. More Ultras in production. Burrow coming in here too. That +3 melee is going to be really nice. But man, Future's on 34 SCVs. And whatever mules he can scrap up with the 2 orbitals that he owns right now. Maybe 3, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he's got 3, but it's pretty much win now or don't win at all for Future. And all of his forces aren't here. All of his Widow Mines are back at home still burrowed. He's not going to be able to break this. He's too far down on supply, and this really is just what happens when you don't have a successful 2-on-1, basically.
Yeah. I mean, every Terran player has been in this position, right? You're like, oh, the 2-on-1 is so strong. And you show up, and then you don't win with it, and you're like, I'm behind forever now. Great.
Yeah, pretty much. And then
Crucifile's taking out a couple of medevacs. That was cool.
Ancient Cistern is a bit of a tough map to play bio on, I imagine, for Terran against Zerg, too. Well, the more aggressive bio anyway. If Future was turtling, it would be a different story, but
yes,
still, it's very rough. Scarlett making 4 more Ultras. She's already got 4, so we're looking at 8 Ultralisk. Good luck, Future.
Widow Mine doesn't get a hit off there. I mean, Fungals would be nice just to prevent these retreats. Ultra comes in from a weird position. But chasing that army all the way back into the natural means your 3rd and your 4th bases are forfeit, and I think we're done.
Future's really trying as hard as he can here, and you got to give it to him, but...
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, this game transfer.
Yeah. All right.
GG, there we go.
Scarlett. Canada gets game 1 with the win. Nicely done.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. My home and native land. Good stuff. So yeah, again, not too surprising. Scarlett at her best is much, much better than Future at his best. But, I don't know. Sometimes people are under the weather. Sometimes they're not at the top of their game. Sometimes they can be caught off guard by something the other player's doing. And we get unexpected results, which are always fun. So, do we think we're going to see a proxy in this series?
I think so.
I do too.
I think we'll see a 2-Rex from Future. Although, 2-Rex has fallen out of fashion lately.
They're just kind of got better and better at dealing with it.
Well, it'll be back. Don't worry. Like, you know how the 2-Rex meta works. The waxing and waning of 2-Rex.
Yeah. It's too good. It's too good to go away forever.
All the Zergs forget. And then the Terrans are Terran wins GSL off the back of it, and it's like, right.
Terrans are like, wait, or the Zergs were like, wait, why are there bunkers outside my nat? What's going? Oh, right, die. Because yeah, it's a really, I mean, it's a specific set of things you have to do to deal with it. Anyway,
In the top right, it's Future.
and in the bottom left, it is Scarlett, as terrifying as she can be right now.
Future.
He says, hearing the Canadian anthem always reminds her of Old Man Henderson, which I think, oh, is that an Old Man Henderson thing?
Who says that?
So, it's a D&D trope, kind of, at this point. It's this legendary NPC that somebody created called Old Man Henderson, and it's got like a giant page on TV tropes.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember reading anything about Canada. Anyway, Bovine Slime wants some national flag emojis next to these names. That would be cool.
That would be cool.
Could probably do that if we had the time, but we're casting right now.
Hold on, let's pause the game.
Hey guys, just give us a second. Do some OBS stuff here. So, no proxies after our preamble about proxies.
I mean, it's another big map. And yeah, we
That's
almost,
true.
like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a proxy. I think we're more likely to see, like, 2-Rax Reaper from Future than a proxy.
Yeah, which is kind of like that. Kind of like a proxy.
What is that skull from? Is that an Overlord on those coins? Or is that from, like, another source of media?
It looks like the Punisher skull.
Yeah.
Hang on a second, let me pull it up. I'm not a huge Punisher fan.
I don't know what Punisher is, but I recognize the skull, definitely from...
Yeah, it's the skull, and then it got the 3 like mandibles coming down.
Yeah.
It's a Punisher icon. So Punisher is a superhero. I use the term loosely because I don't think he has any superpowers, but his whole thing is that he murders criminals. He's a vigilante.
Ah.
Because his whole family got killed by criminals, and now he's alone, and he's kind of insane, and I don't know. They have to do some shenanigans to make it so he can keep up with like superpowered individuals, but kind of an annoying character that way.
I see.
Definitely anti-hero rather than on the hero side of things.
Honestly, for any anti-hero these days, I'm like, yes, I'm totally okay with that. Just because we've seen so many anti-heroes in media get turned into heroes or protagonists lately.
Mm-hmm. Good point. We'll always have Deadpool.
Yes.
Barracks gets an assist on killing that Overlord.
Wouldn't it be cool if the barracks could just ram the Overlord?
I think it'd be awesome. I think buildings should have some kind of mass. The fact that you can fly them around and they can do nothing while they're up there was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said my idea of landing a building should kill the stuff underneath it a few times.
That would have been such a good April Fool's patch if they did that one year.
Oh, man. It would have been hilarious. You'd have people proxy barracks just to float them above your mineral line and land it on it.
You build a turret to keep away the barracks, but the barracks just lands on the turret too.
Yes.
Okay, so Future. He's going for multiple Hellions, following up as multiple Marines. I half expect to see an armory or something going up here. This is an old build. The one rack stim, so you can have the Hellions move in with a handful of stim Marines. But then there's a third on the way, so maybe not. Maybe it is just defensive. I don't know.
I don't know. And nothing has really shown me that Future's up on the current meta necessarily for these first 2 games.
Yeah, everything I say here is pure conjecture, I think is the word. Like, I have no idea what Future is going to do. I have no reason to think I know what Future is going to do.
Eternal classic Hellion harass on the edges of the creep.
Yeah.
Viking hunting overlords is always good. I mean, that is never bad. That Viking is never like, oh shoot, I didn't kill anything. I don't know why Terrans just don't make a Viking every game. You're gonna kill at least one overlord, probably get two.
Yeah, it's true.
And, I mean, it forces the Zerg to pull the overlords back, too. So they've got less vision, less scouting going on. It's really good.
Hellions move it around. Future showing a lot of restraint.
And this is the creep spread that Scarlett's been trying to get.
Yeah.
Where at 5 minutes, it's halfway across the map and only gaining speed.
Lings moving towards the natural. They see 3 Marines, but there's a lot more behind them. Scarlett thinks about going for it. She's going to regret that as those Marines cut them Lings right up.
Ooh. Yeah, that was a terrible choice.
And she just fired up 10 drones, so she has 5 roaches and 8 queens to defend.
Mm-hmm. Is Future actually moving out? He probably should after wiping out those Lings for free.
Yeah, I guess the timing just isn't quite there for him, but he's starting to move out.
Poking, prodding.
Yeah, he's got 2 tanks out, so he's looking like he's got a 3rd base up at a pretty nice timing this game. Scans again, cleaning up creep tumors.
They don't tell you in Hellion Training Corps you're going to be shooting at little mounds of flesh more often than not.
Oh, that would smell so bad.
I know, right? They're pretty secure up there in their Hellion cockpits, though.
Yeah, they probably have AC in there.
Well, they don't have to smell anything.
Scarlett firing up more drones. 15 roaches is what she's using to defend. This Viking finds yet another Overlord victim. Oh, guess it did die.
Yeah, see? Viking, 2 kills. Good. Couldn't even land it behind a mineral line and kill some drones if you're so inclined. Amazing unit, the Viking. Future feeling like he's got to keep these tumors down because he does. He is not wrong about that.
No.
And then Scarlett just immediately throwing up new tumors as soon as those guys get blasted.
This is why I'm glad I'm not a pro gamer.
Seriously.
Like, having to do this, it would be so exhausting. Like, okay, I got
from
to kill
both
these
sides.
Yeah.
Got to constantly replace them and constantly kill them.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, the Terran's like, oh, why does the Zerg keep replacing the tumors? And the Zerg's like, this stupid Terran just keeps showing up, killing my tumors, and then leaving.
Getting away. Can't even stop him.
And I have to deal with that just to play the game.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Scarlett's getting a hive at 8:30. There was a game where Dark was getting his lair at 9:30. Dark be crazy, man.
Yeah, that's Dark, though. Future is down on supply, but that is due to the roach effect. A drop now towards the bottom left, catching Scarlett a little bit out of position. We'll see if there's going to be enough damage here. Scarlett's economy is good, but it's not, like, monstrously good like in the last game, so damage for Future can potentially compound. He's coming in here. He's got 6 tanks. At the very least, I think he's going to get this hatchery on the high ground.
Yeah, and I like getting more tanks if your enemy insists on making a ton of roaches against you.
Yeah, Scarlett moved in for an attack, but that was not very successful. Future's going to get this base, and on the left side, a very delayed defense by the Zerg player, so Future can just keep pushing here.
Yeah, the Infestor control hasn't been super good either.
Yep, Baneling speed was not researched either.
Oh, that's big here, especially on creep like that. Banelings, no damage at... Oh, several more Banelings going down. Yeah, not having centrifugal hooks at 10 minutes is a massive oversight. Banelings crushing onto tanks as well as they can. Crows the Biles. It looks like we're going to clear this out on the right side, but 12 drones have gone down, although all the tanks got wiped out. That's kind of nice, but Future's on his way with another solid attack group.
There's the Viking landing. Gets
Yay.
not a drone. But the next attack from Future can be pretty strong here. More tanks coming on in here, and he does need to, or he does want to get some more done here, because he did lose all his tanks. Like, you don't want to throw all those away and then have to rebuild your tank count. So getting this base kind of is a minimum, I feel, but he's actually just moving forward. It doesn't look like there's concussive shells. There actually is concussive shells on these Marauders, pardon me. But Future trading out against the Zerg, and that's it.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Oh, Phoenix of War.
Oh my gosh.
Snuck into first place on the contribution list, adding $1.50 to the total, waiting for Samacron to go to sleep, and then sniped him.
The sneaky move. I love that competition.
That's a Phoenix, you officially tapped out. So sneaky. I like it.
Okay.
Thank you, though, Phoenix. The players appreciate it. But yeah, Future, man, he can do it. See, he can hang.
Yeah, pretty traditional playstyles are what we're seeing from them, but goes to show why they're traditional.
Definitely not bad, that's for sure. Amazing.
Not bad at all.
All right, we're on Babylon for our next map. Yeah, gotta feel good. And if you drop the first map and then take the second one, it just turns that into a best of 3, which Slate's been wiped. You're not down anymore. You can feel kind of loose and easy. Going down 2-0 is just like there's tenseness, and your anxiety kicks in. And
you know what I think is my biggest wish if we ever get a Starcraft 3? The fact that this is like the most competitive game, but the in-game tournament sucks so bad.
just not enough participation.
Well, just that, like, the way they were designed, that it's all best of ones, you have to wait so long, there's no real rewards or anything. Give us better tournaments, please.
Please.
Anyway.
That would be nice.
It's Future.
And in the bottom right, she's Scarlett. Oh, Samacron is awake. He added another $5
Oh my God.
to take first place, having a total donated of $57.25 on his own. Samacron, and not asleep. Phoenix thought he caught you napping.
You guys are the absolute best for supporting the players. Like, the fact that we can say to the players, like, hey, look, we pretty much doubled the prize pool.
Yeah. Next time we call you, let's do this.
Okay, spawning pool for Scarlett before hatchery. She's saying, you did a command center first, you skipped your Reaper in the previous game. I'm going to try and punish that.
And yet, there is nothing to punish because Future's Barracks is almost done.
Yep. And
Bummer.
He's gone for a gas and is probably going to build a Reaper, I get the feeling.
Yeah, the most standard Reaper opening of
No, he
all
actually
time.
goes for a Marine, so.
Huh.
But then he goes for an SCV Scout, so all is forgiven.
Phoenix in chat. It's like, nah, I thought I had him. Yeah, Samacron's been lurking for a while.
Okay, Ling
So,
speed.
Yeah, Scarlett took a gamble, hurt her economically. Her second base is late. Future's natural is fine. Future
Yeah.
says, hold on a second. That means Lings are coming.
I didn't catch the exact timing of that. Oh, the SCV mineral walks through the Lings, but then chickens out and tries to run away. I was wondering if he was going to go in there to try and check for a Roach Warren.
It'd be a good thing to check for.
Future is a bold guy moving out, trying to get this Overlord while there's Lings out on the map. He's going for it, though, and he might just get... No, he doesn't get it. He's trying to save that SCV. Scarlett gets the SCV. Future's going for a 3 racks play behind this. And with damaging that Overlord, he will be keeping Scarlett in the dark as to what sort of build this is, which is quite nice.
It's true, but I mean, sure. Zerg players are kind of used to just playing without really knowing exactly what's going on inside the main or the natural.
That's true, but it's not like Scarlett's going to know if like a 2-1-1's coming her way or if it's just a 3 racks play or what. So
yeah,
we'll make her a little uneasy.
When you're uneasy, you make some queens.
Yep, pretty much. She was probably going to do that anyway.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, Future's adding on a 5th rack, or a 4th racks, pardon me.
Hmm.
How many Marines is Future going to charge across the map with? Okay, there is an Overlord inching towards the top right, but it's the injured one.
I don't know how deep it's going to be able to get in. Roach Warren from Scarlett here. Phoenix requesting his standard nukes from the Terran player, as per usual.
Future is a guy who likes to make nukes. I did cast a game. This was years and years ago when Future was first sort of making a name for himself. And it was a late game TVZ, and he nuked the crap out of Caleb Arrakis so bad he pretty much retired.
Poor Caleb Arrakis. Nuked him out of the scene.
Okay, so those Marines were seen by Scarlett. She's like, ruh-roh, and is now firing up a bunch of Lings and Roaches. Whether they'll be done in time or not is probably going to decide this game for the most part, if we're being honest here, because this is a big, big commitment from Future. He's got the Marines. They don't have Stim. They don't have Combat Shield just yet.
That's a problem.
And so Future does not have a win.
Now he's got him.
There we go.
Combat Shield Stim is done. He's still hanging out off creep here. Scarlett on the counterattack. I did think just trying to find these Marines. How many more are coming? And she finds a bunch. Again, sacrificing way too many links to that Marine count for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Future throwing up concussive shell too.
Future hasn't even built a factory or a starport yet. There's the starport. As you do got to transition as the Terran. Future's up to 27 Marines. I mean, it's 27 Marines against 7 Roaches. 20 Lings too. This is insane by Future. This is what a crazy person does.
Aki translating for Samacron, whose chat isn't working. Samacron's been talking smack to Phoenix. Always good to see that. Siege tanks popping out of those factories now. Future adding those on. They did pretty well for him in game 2. Don't see why we wouldn't go back to that.
The Medivac's finally on the way for Future. Really makes your bio a lot more powerful. Scan goes down, kills a creep tumor. We'll see if Scarlett adds on some Ravagers to help zone this army potentially later on. Although she is on pretty limited gas right now.
This is the kind of stuff I really struggle with. Just like a ton of stuff shows up and I'm like, ugh. Try to rely on Banelings, but, you know. Sometimes the enemy is good at splitting.
Okay, here come the tanks. And no Ravagers for Scarlett, so these are going to be very problematic. Like, massively problematic.
Oh, she says, oh, tank fire, huh? Bad.
We'll see if she morphs some Ravagers. There's a Ravager on the way.
2.
But
oh,
the
yeah.
tank shots. Oh, my gosh. The Queens are getting butchered. Future is stimming to win.
Yeah, that's a GG. Look at this. Beautiful 7.5-minute attack. Everything you needed, all the tools, the siege tanks Scarlett was not ready for.
Lots of Lings are coming back, but Scarlett taps out. GG.
Wow. Future. There wasn't anything too crazy about that either. It's just the tank Scarlett wasn't ready for him.
Grezvan will be the map. Thanks so much to everyone for tuning in to Freaker World 104. It's going to be a tall order for whoever wins this match to take on Dark, but I'm 100% ready for it, for one of the biggest upsets in a Freaker World history. Whoops.
Yeah, I would love to see Future go against Dark here, see what we can get.
Okay. Future saying GG, GLHF. Scarlett saying go go, good luck. And away we go go.
Ba-dum-bum. And just like that, Future's up 2-1, top left of Grezvan. It's our guy, Future.
And in the bottom right, it's Scarlett. Down 1-2, but I fully believe she can bring it back.
Oh, absolutely. Without a doubt. Future just adding those tanks in. Secret sauce, secret spice. Scarlett wasn't ready for it.
Hey, here we go.
Hey.
This is how we know Future's an NA player. Remember when that was a Starcraft stereotype that NA players were ridiculous? I feel like that we don't hear enough of that.
Kind of a thing. And it's not like friggin' Bjorn and Maru don't proxy in this matchup either.
No, it's true, but
it's just good. It's just that good. And again, what makes it good is you can fail with it and still win the game. Mm-hmm. It's that kind of cheese where just failing with it doesn't mean you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Hiding hole too. Scarlett's not going to see this.
No,
look at the Overlord's trajectories.
Completely missing this. Beautiful placement by Future.
Oh, that's such good placement. Hats off. I mean, we call it good placement if it doesn't get scouted. But still, good placement.
Yeah, it's pretty much either good placement or bad placement.
And it's only bad if it gets found.
Okay, Future is mining gas, so it's going to be Reapers, not the classic Marines, which makes sense based on the positioning here. But it does go to show how the Marine proxies are more rare in the matchup these days.
A little bit, yeah. It's waning right now. A little ebb later. And again, Scarlett entirely in the dark, because heaven forbid we drone scout ever in our entire lives.
I played against a Zerg who drone scouted me today. I was very surprised.
I'm good for him. Should do it. All right, spine toss is up. Oh, did we see that Reaper that fast?
What? I guess she saw the natural or the lack of.
She saw no natural. Yeah.
This Reaper just running back and forth. Gonna actually not get much done so far.
Yeah, you'd think this would be better.
Yeah, but it's like this build doesn't tend to get too much worker damage done. He got one drone. If he could get like 2 drones, we'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's good.
Yeah.
He did force the spine, which is kind of a drone kill.
It's totally a drone kill. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's pretty decent.
Okay, look. No. You don't know. That was cute, but no.
Future thinks he's got 13 Reapers, not 3. There's the double command center, if you had to guess, by the way.
That's the spirit.
Ling speed is done, so the Reaper's got to be careful. And they are going home.
Alright, well, it was fun. Not as exciting as like a bunker marine proxy, but 'tis what it is.
Future abandoning his natural because he knows he can't hold it against potential Ling counterattacks. Until he gets out the couple of Hellions. We'll see if he's going to go for a Banshee, which you kind of want in case the Zerg makes roaches to counter you.
Yeah, it's really amazing how the difference between a Roach Ravager attack succeeds or fails if there are like 2 Banshees out.
Well, yeah, this is why Terrans, or why Zergs generally don't go for the Roach Ravager attacks, just because if the Terran scouts it and makes a Banshee.
Yep. It just obliterates it. It did win at GSL Season 2. There was a match.
Oh.
Because the Terran didn't make a Banshee.
Yep, that's about it. Baneling Nest on the way. Third base is getting up for Scarlett, but Future's third is already done. And it's already in orbital.
Okay. Classic Reaper Hellion attack. One spine crawler says, "What was that? What did you say?" And the queens are like, also, "What did you say?" Oh, did the Overlord scout that Cloak Banshee?
I believe so.
I bet he did.
Yep. But knowing is only half the battle.
It's a big chunk, though. I like the spine crawler keeps getting extra work. It's his third burrow position.
I know. It's Scarlett can't quite figure out where to put that thing.
I like it, though.
It's like a piece of furniture you don't know where to put.
Yeah. I just killed 3 drones.
This thing right here.
Oh, this old Banshee made it over. Hello, Banshee. I mean, 3 kills is amazing.
That cloak is running out, so she's got to skedaddle.
Yeah. But hey.
Oh, skedaddle.
A tumor is always good.
Yeah, and there's the 633rd getting up for Future. It's around the time you want for Terran. He immediately builds a bunker at it. I love to see that.
And 4th base popping any minute now. Centrifugal hooks coming in. Combat shield a little bit later than normal here from Future. Again, based on the opening, it makes sense.
Ragtag group of units, the Hellions, the Reapers, a single tank comes forward, looking to put some early pressure on Scarlett. That one spine crawler going to have to move again, but it's actually going aggressive. And that can be transfused a lot, but the main story right now is these Stim Marines putting out a lot of damage, but well defended by Scarlett.
Love that high ground spine, forcing that tank to relocate. That's hilarious.
The fact that it can be transfused is great.
Siege tank getting some shots, though. Really hasn't missed too many cycles of that attack as it misses one. Yeah, so spine crawler, that's your like 5th position. You're gone now. Yeah, tank dead. Every Terran remembers the reign of the tank evac and how you would never have to leave tanks behind during that era.
That was so dumb.
Now tanks are so much more vulnerable. It's hilarious. We repaired up these Banshees. Nice. I like that. I'm going to force a cancel on that 5th hatch, too.
Can't be transfused while it's building.
Oh, man. Couldn't quite get a shot off on that drone, but that's okay. The cancel alone was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Future says, the time of the pressure is now. I shall be the one to deal the pressure, not the one to receive it. Thank you very much. Speed Banelings getting target fired beautifully there. Another couple go down. Future flooding back here. Asking in chat. Dark took down Estrella. Will be in the final. Nice surround here, though. And again, tank down. Pickups a little bit late. Some really solid Baneling connections there.
Beautiful surround.
Scarlett casually hanging on. A little bit scary for a second there, though. Ooh, making some Hydras for the first time today is Scarlett. We might see some Lurkers in this matchup for the first time.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I don't think the Lurkers are really the answer against Terran currently, but...
No, I don't think so. Like, it's one of those things Terran's got pretty good at playing around them.
Right.
Good creep cleanup by Future as he charges on in towards that 5th base location. There's only like one Baneling, so he's just going to stand and fight. And oh, this is not good for Scarlett. There's more Banelings going on in, but just one at a time. The tank and the Marines target them down perfectly by Future. The Medivacs are keeping these Marines alive. The tank is in the back firing away. The Queens are starting to fall, and Future holds this forward position, now threatening this base. Oh,
yeah, it's not, I was going to say, not enough Marines to really kill it, but more Marines coming in. Siege tanks joining the party to take that hatchery down. Only Lings and Queens against this? Goodness, no. Army value 70 to 50 now in favor of Future. Reinforcements continuing to stream across here. This hatchery is going to die.
Yeah, the Medivacs have healed pretty much as they can, so Future's got to be careful about that. He settles for the 5th base, and then he's going to back out a little bit, producing 12 Marines at a time. He wants to keep the pressure on Scarlett, though, so we'll see where he's going to rotate to.
He needs to, because Scarlett is an elite Zerg player who can recover from a lot of damage pretty quickly if you let her breathe.
Oh, absolutely, and I mean, there's already that new 5th base just about to finish up, so Future really needs to get in there and get some more damage done. Scarlett's Baneling count is going to be going up, which makes engaging with Marines a lot more difficult. It's pretty much all on these tanks at that point. Future.
Queens taking tank shots, never what you want.
Oh, but look at this. Scarlett moves forward. I don't know if this is the fight she wants, but it's the fight she's deciding to take. She gets 2 of the tanks, and now the Marines step forward.
Yeah, and that's a dead hatch. That's going to get target fired down. Even if you have to lose a couple Marines to do it, hatch down, huge deal. Evac, very nicely done.
Yeah, Future loses quite a few Marines in that. Scarlett's now got her 2-2 done. Future's working on his 3-2, so Scarlett temporarily has an upgrade advantage, actually, at least on those Zerglings. Oh, there's the Ghost Academy going up for Future.
Yeah, the thing is, if this is just Hydraling Bane from Scarlett, which we've seen more and more recently, there aren't amazing targets for snipes.
No, that's true.
That's kind of the reason we've been seeing it, is that ghosts show up and they're like, I guess I'll kill a Hydra, but it's not nearly as good as killing a Lurker or an Ultralisk, you know?
No.
So Zergs are just kind of not giving ghosts any premier targets to go after, and Terrans are a little bit lost against this. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Vipers being added. Vipers are always a good target for snipe. I mean, that's... You can't just go Hydraling Bane. You want some abducts on tanks and medevacs.
Yeah, Future has played a great game up until now, but he has failed to get the damage done to really cripple Scarlett. And so, while she's been knocked down to 4 bases, she was always on 4 bases. Like, even though she lost her 5th, she had another one to replace it. And so her economy really hasn't been hiccuped too much. She's maxed out, so the Baneling count's going to grow and grow. Future's got up his 4th base with tanks to defend it, which is nice, but all of a sudden, Scarlett may be able to turn this around, and if she can just pick off a base, that's where things really fall apart for the Terrans. So Future's got to be very careful not to give Scarlett any angle to attack.
We'll see how good he is at keeping his ghosts alive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, ghost control is a huge part of this matchup, even again if there aren't any lurkers or ultras to kill.
Yeah, well, they can counter the Vipers at least, but this is where things are going to get really tough for Future. He's now being pushed back towards his fourth base, has to load up and do a medivac, but there's that Viper abduct. The tanks are going to try and defend this PF, but the Banelings crash right on in, and this is where things can really turn on their head for Future. 20 SCVs, a base dead. Scarlett held on. She just got some massive counter damage done, and all of a sudden the Terran is in a horrible spot.
Yeah, she's got 85 drones. Like you said, she was losing hatches but replacing them instantly in different places and never really lost that many drones. And so that's key here. If you're going to lose the bases, at least try to keep your workers alive and build another base somewhere else to replace the one that died.
Yeah, it's not like Future had a command center sitting around to replace this either. Like, it can work the same way for Terrans. Like, the Terran can lose a command center as long as they have a spare, though. It doesn't really matter, but when the Terran doesn't have a spare, it's almost just like game over if you lose that fourth base. And so no spare for Future. He's got to wait minutes for this base to get back up, and by that time Scarlett's going to have another attack ready. She's up to 33 Banelings, making another 16.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Future all of a sudden. You've got so many Banelings, so many Lings, and your Ghosts are just kind of at a loss against that particular strategy.
Yeah, you're right. They're almost dead. Well, yeah, they're almost a paperweight.
They can snipe off Vipers. Yes, good for them, but other than that, I don't know what they're here for.
Future targets down 2 of the Vipers with the Marines, actually, not the Ghosts. That's a big deal. There's 1 parasitic bomb going down still. The rest of the bio is retreating. This base isn't a planetary.
Yeah, tank getting surrounded and killed there. Ghosts are pretty good at taking Banelings down from distance. They don't do bonus damage versus Banelings, but Banelings are kind of squishy against everything anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, 7 Dropper Lords on the way from Scarlett.
Man.
Holy cannoli.
That is style right there.
Throwing up a Aspire 2. Just maybe tired of these medevacs getting away. She did abduct 1 and kill it, which was awesome.
Future is getting this base up as a planetary, but his economy is so low, it's not like he's churning out tons of tanks. He is making a nuke, which is potentially a Hail Mary. Oh man, there it is though. Future's just minding his own business, hoping he can get up his 4th base, and Scarlett's like, how about a hot delivery of, I'm not going to try and do the math, but it's like 40 Lings to his main or something like that.
Yeah, and an attack into the 3rd base to distract Future, so he's not ready for this.
And Lings.
Oh, he did make a nuke.
He did.
Phoenix. Yeah. The nuke is done.
We'll see. Is the nuke going to go off? That's the question.
Is he going to nuke his own base to try to get rid of these Lings?
Ghosts will destroy these Lings, but this leaves the 4th base vulnerable. I really do like what Future has done here, though. He got an extra base while this was going on. He instantly replaces that one, so he's still on a 4-base economy, and this almost puts Scarlett in a position of her not getting enough damage done. Now,
yeah,
she's coming on in again,
a lot of Lings. Ooh, little blinding cloud on these dudes in there,
blinding cloud.
Yeah, and fantastic Baneling connections that only happened because of Blinding Cloud. Blinding Cloud is really good.
Yeah, but
Infernal Pre-Igniter kicking in from Future here too. And is he transitioning? He's a little bit of mech going on here.
He is. He's making Hellions.
But also Medivacs, though.
Yeah, and he's getting +3 vehicle weapons, so I guess this is kind of a way to make his tanks better, but then also get something that's really good against Zerglings, too. And
is
maybe
that a ghost down south for Future? Sorry, real quick.
It is. No, interrupt me whenever there's a nuke. Feel free.
Phoenix is so happy right now.
There's that nuke. There's nothing to detect it. The drones aren't actually pulling away. Scarlett didn't hear this, I don't think. And boom, 10 dead drones.
Oh, and some drones coming into the radiation, too. If only that was a thing. Scarlett says, how dare you nuke me? Your planetary is forfeit.
Yeah.
And then she backs out. That's a trade.
Zerg has the Baneling nuke, basically.
Yeah, it functions as a nuke. More expensive, though.
Lots of Marauders. Future has got this one base, but he's got to make sure that this one doesn't go down.
Gosh.
And he is taking an engagement far ahead, but the Ghosts are so vulnerable to the Banelings. The Vipers are actually abducting a ton of them. The Command Center can lift, but oh, Future. He went for style points with that nuke. Snipes are going down on some of the Banes, but he's down to 40 supply. He doesn't have another base available, so he's just going to float his main over, but he wasn't quite able to stabilize.
No, he's moving out with his Ghost. I mean, sniping Queens is always good, I guess.
Yeah,
but yeah, this Ling Bane Hydra is such a good counter, and Scarlett ties the series up 2-2.
Wow, what a great series we have.
Yeah, that was a great game. We got our nuke. All right. So, yeah, like I said, I've been seeing more of this Lingbane Hydra Viper stuff against Terran. Just because the Ghosts don't have great targets. And it seems to work pretty well for Zergs more often than not. No Ultras, no Lurkers, no big scary things. Because the Ghosts have been so good at just dismantling those big scary tier 3 things. So, I don't know. I wonder how the meta is going to shift to where Terrans are like, okay, well, if you're not going to be making Lurkers or Ultras, what can I do against this Hydraling Bane? And I don't know if it's more siege tanks, maybe?
I think it probably is more tanks.
Yeah, Hydras are real squishy.
You probably want still a few Ghosts, so then you can deal with Vipers and that kind of thing, but yeah, more tanks, maybe more Marauders.
Yeah.
Although, yeah, the Marauders don't do well against the Hydras or the Lings, just the Banelings, so it's like... Yeah, I don't know. I really have no idea.
Because I gotta imagine Terrans are going to have some kind of an answer to it. Although, I mean, come on. They're winning every Premier tournament up and down, so do they need to change what they're doing?
Are they, though?
They won GSL Season 2.
Yeah, but that's Maru in Korea.
Sure. Sure. Okay, so you're saying it's just Maru. But, I mean, how many Premier tournaments in 2023 have been won?
Pretty much all. Oliveira won IEM, and then... Did Clem win one? I don't think so. Like, anyone that Cyril and Raynor can play in, pretty much Cyril and Raynor win.
Right. So it's been Maru won GSL Season 2. ESL Starcraft 2 Masters Summer Cyril won. So that's a win.
Maybe Clem won the regional one for that? I don't know.
Maybe. And then Maru won GSL Season 1 and Oliveira won Katowice.
Yeah, so, but like, what about Europe, though? Like, that's...
Oh, sure. I mean, I don't know. I guess if we're counting those premier tournaments, I just consider premier tournaments to be ones where, I don't know, the Koreans are represented, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, because Cyril won the ESL regional, obviously.
Yeah. And like, Gamers 8, who just won that? That was Raynor?
Raynor won that.
Yeah.
I don't know who's competing in that.
Pretty much all the best players.
I'm gonna pull it up. It was Raynor, Cure, Solar, Cyril, Beyond Maru. Dude, Clem took down Maru? What a beast. Classic was in there. It's really Protoss that's struggling more than anything else right now.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we can argue against that one. An eBay block against Zerg Future? Okay, he's North American.
In game 5, no less. I love it.
Scarlett's like, what are you doing, man? Then, of course, he's going to harass the drone with the SCV to stop the other hatch going up.
Look at this. Scarlett's just like, I don't know what to... Okay, I guess I'll go. That's a terrible place to expand, though. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, imagine if Future sends an SCV down and builds a bunker.
That'd be hilarious.
Good luck defending that, but that's not going to happen.
No. It would be cool.
It'd be cool, though.
I really hate that as a third base location. Well, I guess second base, but, you know, more historically a third base location.
Yeah, she'll mine out the gold. Some Zergs do take it as a third, so it's not like...
It's not super weird.
No. She will have to lose a lot of mining time, though, mining that out, however.
Yeah, and it's long distance mining, too.
Down.
That seems inefficient.
She's got to do it, though, to open it up, right?
Yeah. Like I said, I just don't like anything here. Whatevs. Reaper on the way from Future on the follow-up. Nothing too crazy there. Now Scarlett has access to her second base. Congratulations.
Yeah, the Zerg takes the natural base right after that, as you expect Zerg to do.
Yeah, a little bit early. I think she's delaying speed for that and the second queen. Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she delayed speed on the second queen for that hatch, but hey, it works out.
Yeah, there's no way a Zerg's gonna be like, I'm gonna play without my natural. No, you need that. You need that creep. You need the hatchery there. You don't really want to be mining at your third.
Yep. Yeah, and I've never seen a Zerg player who's forced to take their second base at a third base location not take their natural.
Exactly.
It makes no sense.
It is a bit of a pain, as these drones can be harassed by this Reaper. Oh, nice. Stimpack on the way for Future behind this. He's putting all his eggs in the 2-on-1 basket.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's been really stressful for Scarlett to deal with it, but I mean, the more you see it, the easier it gets.
Yeah. Maybe Future's hoping that Scarlett's thrown off enough by this odd opening. The Overlord's being kept back. The creep spread, though, as a result of the third being taken first, is going to make this very hard to attack. Bit of a supply block for Scarlett. She's actually firing up 4 Overlords.
Yeah, she's really loved her roaches in this matchup, too. I can't say I love them as much as she does, but...
Oh, she fires up 11 drones as Future's moving out?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's pretty concerning. Future's also got the Reaper still. This can be significant if it gets a good grenade and bounces the queens. Or the roaches.
No, almost got that creep tumor.
Future's
all right, there's the pickup. There's
wow,
the
go
boost.
to the main?
Just drop in the main. Gutsy.
That is so gutsy. Like, Scarlett's like, alright, I gotta defend my third or my natural, and Future's like, how about your main? And
how about
there's
that's
the boost.
Why you have creep.
Suddenly 16 Stim Marines are in Scarlett's main base. The drones are running away immediately. Good reaction time by Scarlett. 6 go down still.
And a 7th, and a queen, and yeah, 8 drones down.
I think Future just gets out of here and calls that good.
That is insanely cost efficient.
Okay, the follow-up for Future. There's the tank, the standard bio follow-up. No extra medivac behind this, so he's not going to be able to float these tanks over for a follow-up push. Scan goes down, going to help clean up some of these this creep, but does get pushed back. Another drop in the main base. These are getting diminishing returns as Future tries to just push Scarlett with only 1 set of medivacs. Now he's stepping on the creep with these Marines. They're going to be able to clean up some of that, but they got to be careful not to overextend. There's the 1 tank. The other tank is now moving back. It's going to set up and defend the third.
Defensive third spot, yeah.
Huh. That's sort of interesting, though, because it means Future's going to be giving up on aggression. There we go. Like, I did not expect Future to be done with aggression at this point.
Especially with such a absolutely perfect opening.
Yeah. Now, maybe he's seeing the roach count is getting a bit worried, rightfully so, as Scarlett has stopped making drones at 67. She's getting up a 4th base, which Future won't be able to cancel. Could have had a window there potentially, but does not. Future's moving out just the bio, keeping the tanks at home to secure up this 3rd base, which is fairly late. 7:30. Gets a queen, unloads right back as this bio pushes into the front, so he's going to get some drone kills there. Getting 5-6 drone kills, potentially going to get that queen too. He does.
Whew, 11 drones total down there. And 12 drones getting fired up by Scarlett, just replacing them as needed here. But it does take its toll, every one of those. In Future, killing those creep tumors, doing that lawn mowing again. Gotta do that maintenance.
Mowing the lawn, a perfect way to put it.
Yeah. Always comes back, gosh darn it. And Scarlett back on the Infestor train. I've been complaining about Zerg not using Infestors as much in this matchup, and Scarlett's fully committed to it.
Did you know that there's like Roombas for the lawn?
I saw something about that the other day. That's crazy.
Yeah, a guy I work with has one, and he was talking about how awful it is. I'm like, well, what did you expect?
Well, Roombas work. I don't know. I'd expect it to be okay.
I mean, yeah, but it's outdoors, right?
Yeah. So you just put it out there when it's a sunny day and it's not going to rain or anything. Let it do its thing and then bring it inside.
Yeah. Wow, that base was a kill, I think.
Yep. No cancel. No dead drone there. So Scarlett's up 190 to 160, but again, a lot of that is the roach effect, and here come a lot of tanks against those roaches.
Big push. Scarlett's trying to get up an Ultralisk Cavern, but she's going to have to contend with Future prior to that.
Yeah, there's no way she's going to get any ultras out before this attack.
This is the Neo-Humanity effect. Look how far forward the space is.
Yep.
Oh, she's diving forward. Corrosive Biles go down, but a lot of Zerg units perish there too. The bio steps one step forward and is all of a sudden on that base. Fungal goes down, but it's mainly on Marauders. Good dodge on another Fungal.
3 Marines get fungled. One of them dies thanks to Corrosive Bile. That's
there's the good
fungal. Ooh, God, I'm telling you, fungal is good.
Future fighting without all of his tanks.
Yeah, ZvT's getting some really nice hits off in this battle, though.
Yeah.
And Scarlett just kind of accepting that she's going to take tank shots, I guess.
That's no good, though, as Scarlett is all of a sudden barely up on supply. A lot of that is just Roach's building, loses a critical production base. Future can now bounce towards this other building location. The tank count is still up to really anchor this position. The Medivacs are healing the bio. Scarlett will have 2-2 done in just a second, and there it is. So this would be the time to fight. She's going to go for it, but that's still into 5 siege tanks.
Siege tanks getting beautiful shots off on this clumped up Roach Ravager stuff.
Defend, however.
But, yeah, but not enough to actually save it. Armory value 67 to 56 in favor of Scarlett here. Future pulling back a little bit. Yeah, that 2-2 came in massive handy there.
Fourth base is getting up for Future. That's not exactly great timing. 11 minutes. Now, I mean, he did knock the Zerg down to 4 bases, but of course Scarlett's building the 5th and a 6th. That's been the theme of the tournament today. How quickly players expand in just Starcraft 2 these days. Like, it's all about the timing of your bases.
Yeah, I think Fungal had a lot to do with that that last hold too, so more infestors getting added in, chitinous plating getting tossed up. Scarlett does not have enough gas for a single ultra, let alone several.
Good point. Scarlett coming on in. Future a little bit exposed, but actually a good concave for him. Let's see if Scarlett breaks down those rocks potentially. Future's bouncing to the right with his Medivacs for a drop. There's a roach on the tower though, so Scarlett's gonna have perfect vision and a perfect heads up of that. Ghost Academy is now on the way up for Future.
That's all we know. Those are going to be pretty good.
Future's stepping pretty far onto creep, trying to establish a good position, and it is a great position on Neo-Humanity. If Scarlett attacks down this ramp, it's going to be really tough, but Future with a move command makes a huge mistake, eats a fungal, eats a lot of files. He might have been trying to control this force on the right side. I mean, he still has this position held, but he's actually going to abandon it, which may or may not be the right decision. He loads up into the Medivacs. Can he save that last tank? No, he does not. However, he's pushing down towards the bottom right.
That's a dead hatch. Here to finish the job. By that, I mean the extractor must die first. There you go. And then the hatch gets taken down. Roaches, not really enough to handle that. Ling's running in. Single Ultralisk again. Another Ultralisk in production. These roaches should not fight here, boys. Yeah, that was a horrible trade out for Scarlett. Future up 108 to 95 total supply. Roaches keep coming back into this.
Yeah, we're seeing the roach scale effect as they don't. So Scarlett really needs these ultras out.
Yeah, these roaches are just going to get worse and worse and worse as time goes on in this game. Not that ultras are, you know, game-winning type units here, but they're a lot tankier than roaches are. Scarlett left side, defending against Future here. Future making a big move out.
Yeah, and look at the supply right now. Scarlett hasn't been keeping her max up. She's actually really down on Larva. That's the reason why. And Future takes a great fight there. Scarlett losing a lot of units. A drop in the main, but that's it. GG Future.